Ladies and gentlemen, impeachment is imminent. Well, impeachment's going to take place in 2023. It could be for graft schemes related to Hunter's emails, where you have people asking him for beneficial treatment, preferential treatment. How can you use your influence on the company's behalf? That's one email. According to CBS News, 150 suspicious financial transactions. And you have a former vice president and senator, the current president, mashed potato brains Joe, who only had like a couple $100,000 or less than that in net worth, and suddenly got $10 million to $12 million. We don't know how, but it's from speeches and it's from his books. Have you heard him speak? Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Be here for the live streams. It's going to be amazing on Tuesday. We're only a couple of days away, ladies and gentlemen. We're about, 3 days away. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Hit subscribe to my super chat. Paul Bartlett in Australia, thank you so very much. Paul Bartlett, thank you so much. Starting it off to my super chat. I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. So to my super chat, thank you. Eric, Samurai, hello. Kristen, Deb. Everybody here, J-Spot, Paul Bartlett, thank you so very much. G. Corber, Toy Mafia, Eddie, everyone here, thank you. Sabi Kel, everyone here, thank you so much. Let's get started. Again, to my super chat, I cannot do this without you. I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding like some people. And your super chat support is greatly, greatly appreciated. Kristen, hello. Coley, hello. So they're going to impeach Biden. Now, let's just read the cognitive dissonance here. It's going to be very... the nation, get ready for the coming impeachment of Biden. The GOP is ready. This is hilarious. The GOP is ready to again beclown American democracy. That's a word that I don't think I've ever heard of. Beclown. This is hilarious, too, because The Nation is a left-leaning publication that's supposed to represent the interests of the working class. Real wages are down 8.5%. The average American family of all backgrounds is struggling now. We have inflation at 8 to 9%, directly because of Biden's policies. His energy policies caused all of this. In addition to Democrats slowly opening up after they gleefully shut down economic activity. And then you have the rebuttal of, well, it was Trump was in office. Like, so what? Do you not understand how the difference between a federal and a state government? Like, these people hide behind the weakest arguments. Henry, thank you again, sir. Henry, man, thank you. Interesting times indeed. Indeed, to my super chat. I cannot do this without you. Thank you, everybody. Henry, thank you so much. Yes, interesting times indeed, Henry. Yes, I agree with you. And so let's just hear, like, okay, already there's enormous demand for impeachment. 68% of Republicans think the House should impeach Biden. Yeah. Well, it's more than that, but a majority expect that it will impeach him. Thwarting those expectations would be, okay, so let's just do a word search for Hunter. Can we just, let's just, one mention. Okay, here. The correct answer, some wonder, what on earth Biden could be impeached for? Oh, what could he be impeached for? I mean, graft and bribery? I mean, he could be impeached for his foreign policy also. His economic policy. Because we found out with Trump, it's not about criminal activity. It's just about a message. It's a political message. It's a lesson to be learned. It's a lesson to be learned by the American people. It's a lesson to be learned. It's a political, reckoning, whatever. They love that word. That word is like justifies the indefensible with Democrats all the time. But the correct answer is that the majority in the House can impeach a president and other officials in the executive branch for anything. The phrase high crimes and misdemeanors is expansive enough to include whatever the House wants, although it will be unlikely to get the 2/3 majority in the Senate. Of course they won't. They won't get 67 senators. That means Biden could be impeached for any made-up scandal. Oh, totally made up. Graft, bribery, kickbacks, totally made up. Notice how the Nation article does not list the actual emails, the suspicious financial transactions, the very bizarre, the lies, the overt and blatant lies. Okay? Henry, thank you again. Paul Bartlett, thank you. Safety and Happiness, hello.com, hello. HK, hello. Eric Samurai, hello again. Ultra, hello. So, you have a situation where, there's going to be impeachment. And notice, it's not just that any scandal or anything that has to do with Democrats, the cognitive dissonance is too much. So my response to Trump, to the investigations with Trump, is that where was the crime? So the crime was actual graft. People were giving money to Hunter. Hunter, in one of his emails, said, I give 10% to the big man, and the big man was Joe. That is a crime. That's graft. There are laws against that. Those are felonies. Trump never worked with the Kremlin. That was completely fabricated. Okay? And if Democrats didn't cheat Bernie Sanders, they did. But if the rebuttal was, they didn't alter any of the totals, it's like, okay, neither did the Kremlin. But apparently they interfered because they hacked the DNC to inform the country that Bernie was being cheated. So, of course, Bernie was cheated. So, Democrats are all over the place. They will never admit they cheated Bernie Sanders. They will never admit they run graft and bribery schemes, whether it's a foundation or Henry Man, hello. Impeachment on day one. They should. They should. They absolutely should. They impeached Trump on things that weren't even criminal act. It is a criminal act. It's not a criminal act to do consulting. It is a criminal act when you're getting money to influence U.S. foreign policy. You have Hunter working for the corporation where Joe forced out a prosecutor who was about to investigate that corporation. And you have the prosecutor willing to testify. They should bring the prosecutor in to testify. And you have a vice president who forced out another country's government official. When has that happened before? If it's happened before, did the person have a family member working for a corporation that would stand to benefit? They are getting money to influence U.S. foreign policy. It is not difficult to even prove. Joe was bragging and boasting because he can't stop talking when he actually could speak and communicate effectively. And so if you listen to the bragging and the boasting, he's like, oh yeah, and they said I had no authority to do that. And I said, go call the president. Pony Soldier, hello. So you have a situation where it's like you have a situation where you have Hunter, who obviously engaged in graft and bribery schemes. They're giving money to Clinton's, the foundation. They're giving money to Hunter for a reason. It is not because Hunter knows anything about oil and gas. It is not because he's providing consulting. It is because he's a conduit and he has the ear of the vice president. That is why. This is not even up for debate. But whenever you point this out, you get, you can't prove anything. You can't prove anything. And it's like, that's all you get. You can't prove anything. But with Trump, they can literally purchase a dossier. They can purchase a dossier and they can fabricate complete lies, and they can write endless articles on those lies. And at the end of the day, when they have egg on their face, they say, well, there was interference. Nobody knows of any interference. There was no interference. That was made up. How did they interfere? How many votes were altered? So this is hilarious. A Biden impeachment would be an act of pure spite and revenge. Somewhat, yes, but that's what that's the political environment you created. Furthermore, a Biden impeachment would actually correlate to criminal statutes. You could actually prove in a court of law that Hunter took money. So there's a money transfer. He took money and gave 10% to the big man. It's in his own emails. You could then subpoena Hunter, and oh my God, we found out from Steve Bannon, if you don't, you can get prison time. So there you go. So it's not difficult you created an environment where you impeached Trump for the audacity to investigate Biden, which is hilarious because Biden should have been investigated if he committed crimes or if he was part of any shady behavior. So that and his son was being investigated by the federal government as they impeached Trump, which is so hilarious. Senator Ted Cruz made this clear on a podcast, whether it's justified or not. That's probably taken out of context, but the Democrats, they used it for partisan purposes. And one of the real disadvantages of doing that is the more you do that, the more it turns into a partisan cudgel. So there you go. Yeah, well, I don't understand. The nation doesn't want Biden to be impeached, but thinks it's okay that Trump should be impeached twice on issues that don't even correlate to a crime. So that's definitely going to happen. Hunter is mentioned one here. The winning argument for democracy can't be in the abstract. It has to connect to real harm that people can imagine hurting them. It's like you have a terrible economy, foreign policy that's an absolute catastrophe. If you had a Republican presiding over all of these, all of these failures, there's no doubt the nation would actually go after that Republican. But here, this is interesting. Newsweek, Joe Biden acknowledges he faces impeachment. Of course he faces impeachment. Of course but you have to understand, graft is a felony. Okay? Graft is a felony. Let's see right here. Okay, federal graft statute. Oh, here. It's actually, is it here? Okay. There you go. It's right here. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she already introduced it. It's right here. There's a resolution that she wrote, or impeachment articles that she's written already. By enabling bribery and other high crimes and misdemeanors. So there you go. Bribery is a crime, felony. Let's see. It's right here. They go into detail. Or she goes into detail. It's pretty good. And she talks about him altering U.S. foreign policy. So Democrats now have to defend a very corrupt act in a country that's invaded under their watch. I mean, it's pretty much game over in terms of... So Marjorie Taylor Greene already wrote about this. According to same sources, Hunter and family's financial transactions. Okay, so there you go. I mean, it's all there. And you have these business connections. And the interesting thing is, Biden isn't a business person. He doesn't know the first thing about business. Joe doesn't know the first thing about owning a business. He's not, and neither does Hunter. They've never owned a business. They make their money from government, from state power. Okay, notice how they never went after Trump's businesses. They did, they couldn't find anything. So, it's right there. But here it's like, this is hilarious. They were trying to claim that a thing of value is investigating Biden. Meanwhile, they're getting millions from people. So let's see if this bribery statute actually works for impeaching Joe. A federal law known as the bribery statute makes it a crime for a public official like Trump to corruptly request a thing of value. Yeah, and it's also a crime if Hunter does it or anyone around Joe. I mean, it's not like rocket science. Everyone knows what took place. The entire planet knows that you have one person setting up business deals, accepting millions, accepting hundreds of millions in like shell corporations or, different business entities, and then funneling money to the vice president through, very likely creative means. Okay? So, this is Tammany Hall. This is a modern day Tammany Hall. And they tried to get Trump, they tried to actually state that a thing of value, this article is in 2019, Jay. This is a 2019 article. The impeachment, I think, was maybe last year. So, the articles of impeachment she wrote were last year. So, it's really interesting. So, the federal law knows the bribery statute makes it a crime for a public official to corruptly request a thing or value. Okay. And what happens if there are emails stating that so here, where's the graft? Okay. So these are like specific types of graft. Let's see. So you already have like senators. I think it's Ron Johnson. This is hilarious. Salon. Hunter might be charged with some stuff. Some stuff. And they're like, it's just the taxes and a firearms charge. No big deal. It's like, well, it's actually more than that. It's so bad that Hunter needs a plea deal or he's being charged. It's so bad that what they're going to do is either give him a plea deal or charge him just to make... Oh, this is interesting. Biden Inc. It's right here. Over his decades in office, middle-class Joe, family's fortune, closely tracked his political career. Yeah. See, you could do so legally, but altering U.S. foreign policy is a problem, big problem. So that is illegal. Even Politico's talking about it. And they're like, well, what's the big deal? Trump enriched himself. Like, no, he didn't. He lost money. You can do so legally. You just can't alter U.S. foreign policy. And you can't promise things, or you can't allude to beneficial treatment if you give money. So they'll definitely change. I mean, you will all see, ladies and gentlemen, it's like YouTube is like slow now. I mean, like the viewership, it's like, I'm getting 200, 300 viewers on the live stream. It's like people aren't really interested, right? It's like a couple of days before a major shift in American politics. The people don't realize it yet. It's not just Hunter, Jared Kushner, Donald Trump. No. They didn't force out a prosecutor. See, this is a nepotism. It's not like no, you're trying to go after these people because you despise them. Hunter makes a living off the family name. No, that's not a problem. I have no problem with nepotism, by the way. Hunter can totally make a living off the Biden name. The issue is graft. The issue is accepting money to alter U.S. foreign policy or promise things. Nobody's accused Trump of that. Trump's daughter wields unprecedented influence. What? She oversees hundreds of... So? She represented the United States. So? She involved in the shaping. So? She involved in high level... Yeah, that's nothing to do with Hunter's emails. Like, nothing. This is kind of hilarious because they're trying so desperately to make everything morally relative. They tried so desperately they can't. It's kind of like, if you just here's an example, okay? Influence on company behalf. New York Post. Yeah. Here, emails reveal Hunter tried cash in. Okay, Then you have the issue of U.S. foreign policy pertaining to certain countries, and the influence they have over Democratic politicians. It's right here. Here's where he gets impeached. It's not that difficult. Here, so first of all, Joe lied many times about meeting his son's business deal. Pony Soldier, thank you. Greatly appreciated. To my super chat, thank you. Hello, Edward. Hello, Jason. Hello, Dustin. Hello. Thank you so much. Pony Soldier, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. Paul Bartlett. Everyone here. Henry Mann, thank you. To my super chat, thank you so much. So, Joe lied about his business dealings. Then, if you use the Democratic Party, like, petulant response, well, why did he lie? What does he have to hide? Then you're going to get subpoenas. Then you're going to get just a frenzy. But now you'll actually have like criminal statutes. A little bit different from, a whole bunch of smart people think that Trump was trying to go after the future Democratic Party nominee. Oh, democracy. And Twitter was a huge part of that. Advice on how you could use your influence. That is a crime. That is a felony. to use your influence on a foreign company's behalf. When the topic of discussion is that influence being how can you influence the vice president? That alone puts Democrats on the defensive. I mean, but it's not. I'm just bringing up what Ron Johnson and Rand Paul and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz, and you're going to have Herschel Walker. Blake Masters is going to be at the forefront of all of this. Blake Masters makes me look like an intern. Well, I don't want to. I was going to say an intern for the Democratic Party. I don't want to be an intern. Blake Masters makes me look like a Democratic strategist or like a loyal vote blue no matter who person. Blake Masters will be at the forefront. You will have an entire political establishment to the right of center. Edward, thank you. Skull Crown, thank you. Dieter, hello. So, this is not difficult to prove. Then, I mean, here's the real issue. Okay, here's the real issue. This is the real issue, people. Paul Bartlett, to my Australian viewers, thank you. Here. 150 suspicious financial transactions. $150 suspicious financial transactions. Right here. Okay. They're giving money to influence U.S. foreign policy and to influence a U.S. official. It is not difficult to understand. This is not difficult to understand. Robert John, hello. This is so easy to understand. Even a Democrat can understand this. They do not want, they cannot admit that their political side, they just simply cannot admit that their political side sells access to the United States government. You have Democrats who have had romantic relationships with intel operatives. You have Democrats who received campaign donations. You have Democrats like Joe and Hunter who have engaged in graft schemes. This isn't rocket science. That's why they threw everything, including the kitchen sink at Trump. And if Trump will run, but let's say like the Democratic Party like dream is that he doesn't run, then you get DeSantis, who's in fact the better. Like I want Trump first and foremost, but DeSantis is a better politician. Like there's Democrats don't even have a DeSantis. They do not have a DeSantis. So, exactly, America. Yeah, exactly, it will. Robert John, congrats. Yeah, Astros won. Wow. It's pretty awesome. Mashed potato brains, hello. Greatly appreciated. Hello. So, I mean, this is not difficult. Like, you have to understand, like, I don't think people truly realize that everything will change, especially without Twitter. Twitter was a kind of wall or barrier or shield. It was like a cyber shield for Democrats. And primarily to stifle or suppress emotions, negative, detrimental to their political side. So, they won't have that anymore. And then Elon Musk will also, his viewpoints will be always offensive and very harmful to the Democratic Party. So, I mean, it's right there, dear Hunter. Thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me an opportunity to meet your father. Why did Joe lie? Why did Biden lie about meeting Hunter's business associates? Here's another example. Joe met a business partner at the White House, in the West Wing. What is the vice president doing meeting business associates? Any business. What does that have to do with national security? And then this is why you have an entire machine after Trump. You have an entire political establishment after Trump. And again, an entire American political establishment. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, the people who don't know this will believe anything. The people who do know this understand that this is basically the end of the Democratic Party. All Rand Paul and Ron Johnson and Blake Masters and Herschel Walker and Mehmet Oz and all of these new Trump Republicans in the Senate, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all they have to do is show the truth. Like, read Hunter's emails. Why do you think we couldn't talk about this? Henry Mann, H.A. Trump Tulsi ticket. Oh, I'd love that. I don't think that's going to happen, but I would love that. I think that Tulsi Gabbard I think she will become a Republican. Gus, hello. I think she'll become a Republican eventually, and she should. And she'll do very, very well. She'll do very, very, very well. So, but, I mean, this is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. This is definitely going to happen. And Trump was in Pennsylvania. I mean, people, this month is going to, I mean, it's so slow on this channel now. I mean, I'm just doing, the uploads aren't doing much. I think it's slow on YouTube right now. But going into 2023 and 2024 will make 2016 look like very normal, a very normal, mundane, serene time period. So, Robert John, hello. So, yeah, I mean, you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where impeachment is certain. I mean, think of all the things. Think of all the things, people, that are going to take place. You have impeachment. You have Trump. Before that, you have Trump. You have midterm victories in the House and Senate. And you have midterm victories in the House and the Senate. And you have Trump announcing. And what's going to stop him? They want a special counsel? That could be defunded immediately by Congress. So good luck trying to fund a special counsel. Let's see if Congress can defund a special counsel. Congress defund special counsel. Let's see. Defund special counsel. has been pushing the Trump to defund the special, because so they can defund, Congress can defund the special counsel. So, stand up to the White House. This was in 2018. Let's see here. So they wanted to block any of it, to defund special counsel. Amendment to block any attempt. So that won't happen. You could defund, because they want to prevent Trump from running again through a special counsel, but they can defund that special counsel. So oh Lord. So you have inflation. You have, Tom Barack, the Trump, Trump inauguration. He was acquitted. They just go after everyone associated with Trump. One rebuttal from people is like, oh, well, how come nobody wants to represent Trump? Because you have the entire American political establishment leveled against anyone around Trump. But they still can't find anything he committed that's a criminal act. So Biden stumps on job growth. It's like, well, real wages are down. The reason that the unemployment rate is low is because it took 2 years. The unemployment rate was just actually lower when Trump was president in the beginning of 2020 and 2019, the end of 2019. So it took 2 years to get to where we were. 2 years ago, after Democrats gleefully tanked the U.S. economy, okay, because they were afraid of you know what, we instantly had 20 plus million people unemployed. More than that. Then it took about 2 years to get to where we were before. Ian Markey! Hey, buddy. Good early morning to you, H.A. Goodman. Thank you so very much, Ian. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Ian. Thank you to my super chat. I can't thank you enough. Ian, thanks so much. Greatly good morning to you, too, as well. Greatly appreciated. Ian and everybody here, definitely be here Tuesday. We are going to have the most amazing time Tuesday. We're going to have the most amazing time. We are going to have the most awesome, fun time. And I mean, it's interesting too, because not only will we have impeachment, not only will we have Trump like ramping up his campaign for 24, we'll have the most amusing, I think Hillary's going to run again. I really do. I don't see anyone Democrats have. They don't. Newsom has no appeal, nationally. Zero. They could go with the vice president. I don't think they will. Let's see. Who else do they have? Nobody. They don't want mashed potato brains. Orange Grove 55. Remember Mueller time? Exactly. Robert, he will for sure run. In about a couple weeks, he will. In about a couple weeks, Robert. Ian, thank you so very much. Thanks, Ian. Orange Grove 55, thank you. Haha, Paul Bartlett, thank you. So, we're going to have, like, such a fantastic time. They're going to have a very difficult time, because then you get impeachment of Garland. So, You might start off with an impeachment of Merrick Garland because they're already. It was in March. If it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, I give her mad respect. Oh, Scott. Hold on one second. Who is this? Scott Perry, Representative Scott Perry. Ah, that's right. Going after families. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're so bad at governing, too. It's like they're just so bad at governing. They're so bad at governing. So you can impeach Garland. And by the way, it's like they're saying, oh, it's just payback. You just want revenge. It's like, well, that's part of it, but also you committed crimes. Garland did not commit a crime, so Merrick Garland did not, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is awesome. I don't agree with, like, I don't particularly enjoy her, like, political baggage or, maybe little controversies that she gets herself into sometimes, but she's a very good, she's a very good politician in terms of going up against very, very, very corrupt Democrats. So she's very, very good when it comes to that. So I respect that greatly. Marjorie Taylor Greene drafts articles of impeachment against Merrick Garland. I would say she would be the Republican equivalent of AOC, but a lot more knowledgeable about a greater variety of topics. That's just bizarre. 1.6 billion Powerball. I mean, I wouldn't even want to win that money. Believe it or not, I wouldn't want that. 1.6 billion. That's just not a healthy thing right there. I mean, you might say, oh, well, you know what? Oh, people would love that. That's true. There are a lot of people. 1.6 billion, that comes with a lot of headache. A lot of headache. A lot of headache. But GG, as the Golden Moo ascends the stage. GG. I love it. The Golden Moo, Robert John. GG, hello. I love it. GG, I love it. Robert John, will you please run for office and represent us? I would love to. I'd have to actually leave California, so I'd have to go to someplace like Montana or Idaho or South Dakota or North Dakota or something like that. Robert John, thank you. Thank you so much. Gigi, thank you so very, very, very much. Gigi, greatly appreciated. Party time. Let me ask you this, Robert, Gigi, everybody here. I got a question for you. Okay. This is a great question, Gigi, everybody here. Paul Bartlett, everyone here. I need all of my 210 people. What victory will be sweeter, November of 2016 or November 8th, 2022? Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Robert, Texas is I would have to pick a state that isn't like such a big, huge state. I wouldn't want to campaign like, I mean, I'd want to be in like New Hampshire or something, like a small state, where I could just not have to deal with, huge political parties. Yes, I love it. Gigi, Robert, everybody here. Henry, man. To my super chat, thank you. It's going to be awesome! Exactly, America, exactly. I think that this will be sweeter for a lot of reasons. Wyoming, yes, Gigi. Wyoming is a fantastic state, amazing people. I know some really, really awesome, wonderful people in Wyoming. It's a fantastic, awesome state. JM! Trump couldn't wait 4 more days before talking. JM! JM. That's awesome. That's awesome, JM. I don't think it's going to matter too much. Yes. That's what I'm just wondering, like, how come, like, nobody's really, like, psyched and, like, ready to rock and roll? It's just, like, even as early as last week, I was like, impeachment's going to happen. Like, I don't see it, I was trying to tell my viewers in the upload, I'm like, impeachment's going to happen, it's imminent. I just don't see it. Nothing ever good happens. No, nothing ever good happens for Trump or our political side. That's not going to happen. No. What do you mean it's not going to happen? You're going to get the House and Senate. Boater's Book, hello. Gigi, thank you. Henry, man, thank you. Everybody here, thank you. So, yeah, 2022. Heaven on the horizon, hello. So, they are. So, you look, and it's like, Democrats are not good on the defensive. They're not good, like, explaining why they lost. Because what Democrats do best is preach and pontificate. You can't really... See, you can't give a Newt Rockney speech after, and they don't even, like, their preaching is like nothing compared to that. Like, their preaching is like depressing, but you can't give, like, when you've lost miserably, you can't condemn and judge. You kind of lose that you kind of lose that cloud or influence for a moment. You're like, oh, what happened? And the way the left works, it is not going to be a nice, like, moment. Like, they'll blame the far left. They'll blame AOC. AOC will blame the establishment, which she basically is the establishment. So it'll be an entire poop fest. It'll be an entire poop fest. And, like, Lance Miller, hello. Kevin, hello. It's gonna be an entire poop fest because, like, they spent so long talking about democracy and this and that. They spent so long. I was speaking to a very, like, You might enjoy this. I was speaking to one of the smartest people I've ever met. Really amazing human being. One of my few friends in life. And so I was explaining to him, and he's a liberal Democrat, if you can believe this. And so, but he's not like, he's like very rational, sane, like he can actually talk, but the way he kind of like doesn't address, the actual things I say. So he's the only person I actually debate politics with, which it's not much of a debate, but it's like very funny and amusing. So I'm like, we had a recession, He's like, oh, well, you know what? It wasn't a recession. That's not the way. I'm like, it's 2 quarters of negative growth. He's like, that's not exactly always the case. And look at the unemployment rate. And I'm like, okay, it took 2 years to get to where we were. And he's like, well, you know what? Everyone I speak to, they're doing better. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I spoke to my pool man the other day, and he's great. And I'm like, you have a pool. You're rich. Of course you're fine. The average American doesn't necessarily have a pool with a pool boy or pool man. Okay, this is the way like the wonderful, highly educated Democrats are like, oh, well, I spoke to the pool man and he's very happy. Like, okay, did you speak to the person who you buy caviar from also? Oh, okay, good. They're doing good. Some people, like rich people, are doing good. And maybe the pool man, maybe this person's my friend's pool man is actually doing better than he did 2 years ago. But that doesn't mean inflation, that real wages aren't down 8.5%. It's like, well, yeah, you're rich, you got a nice pool and everything. What do you want? The people around you are doing well. Thank God. God bless you. It doesn't mean that the economy is good. But it's like it goes in ear one ear out the other. Do you understand? You just can't reason. Bill Jeffers, Leafs will win the cup before another. I'm not even into hockey, but yeah, I'm assuming, that they'll just never win the cup. That's so awesome, Bill Jeffers. Thank you. Tron Beetle. It's like, I spoke to my butler, yeah, and he's doing fine. Why is everyone making a big mistake? I spoke to the person who gives me, Chateau Lafite and my caviar. And I spoke to the person who washes my Rolls Royce, and he says everything's happy. What's the problem? Oh, Eric Samurai, he's awesome. He's actually a really, really, really good person. Really amazing person. But it's just it's like, what? I spoke to my billionaire friend, and oh, well, he's a billionaire. Sounds like he's obviously. It's like if you speak to Elon Musk and he's happy. That's another thing. Conversely, I saw this one short on YouTube. And by the way, I'm going to have a short soon. Tuesday, I'll introduce it so everybody actually sees it, because YouTube is so slow now. Tuesday, it'll be like, Alan Harkin! Alan! Excellent take on the state of our nation. Thank you. Excellent combination of truth and humor. Not an easy task to pull off, but you do it well done. Thank you so very much. But you pull it off well done. Thank you so very much, Alan. Alan Harkin. Such a pleasure always to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. And please be here November 8th. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, my God. Alan, just to read the Meltdown from Meathead from Rob Reiner. Oh, my God. Alan, Robert, everyone here. Matt Cal, Mark, Paul, Henry, man. Let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. Thank you so very much, Alan. Thank you. So, okay. Again with this, he's still tweeting. Every 2 seconds, this man's tweeting. So he starts off, this is the best. I can't wait to read his tweet. 3 days ago, not hyperbole, a vote for Republican is a vote to end democracy. Okay. Well, it's like, that actually is the definition of democracy. The fact that you're going to have the House and the Senate change to better, more responsible hands. That is the definition of democracy, but whatever. And then today, in the next 5 days, we'll determine. That's not entirely. None of that's entirely true. But then 4 hours ago, our closing argument. If we want to continue down the path our founders have laid. Yes, our founders would be very happy. Oh my God, they're turning in their grave right now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If we want to preserve our right to and continue our 246 years experiment in self-rule, we must vote now. And that vote has to be for Democrat. Okay. Thanks. Yes, the experiment has led us to mashed potato brains. Very bad experiment. Alan Harkin, thank you, sir. Thank you, Alan. Oh, meathead. Our closing argument. What a terrible... If that's your closing argument, then Mehmet Oz will win by 10 in Pennsylvania over Whale Sound's Democrat. If you had Fetterman and Biden in a conversation, like a hot mic, like I always say, I'd rather listen. It would be easier to decipher a pod of dolphins speaking to a bunch of whales. It would be easier to understand and decipher. You understand? Than like listening to the complete like bizarre alternate reality of Biden and Fetterman. They should come out with the Biden Fetterman tapes. You know how like in World War II, like you had Native American like languages used because they could like there were certain codes that were unbreakable, and so they should actually use Fetterman and Biden to hide any secrets we have, like Central Intelligence, nuclear launch codes. Just you can give them, it's fine. No one's going to understand them anyway. Mad Cow Mark. Well, let me put what I want in the chat. So just take it. Yeah, Mad Cow Mark. Alan Harkin, thank you. Bill Jeffers, hello. Mad Cow, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Won't let me put what I want in the chat, so just take my money. Oh, thank you, Mad Cow Mark. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. To my Australian viewers, Paul Bartlett, Mad Cow Mark. One day, I'm going to go to Australia and just meet up with all 20 of my viewers in Australia at like a pub someplace and buy them a round of drinks. It'd be like, thank you for watching me. In this continent, I have 20 viewers. Mad Cow Mark Allen, thank you. MP, I have not. I like Pearl Jam. I have not, though. I mean, from the 90s. Can't find it. That's good, MP. Our closing argument, Mad Cow Mark, from Meathead himself. If we want to continue down the path of that our founders have... Can you imagine our founders looking at Mashed Potato Brains Joe? Like, what? How's it going to cornflakes? If you want to preserve our right and continue... I love when they start getting like all like, like syrupy. 246 experiment in self-rule. Oh, thank you. Thank you for bringing up Rob Reiner when we left England. When we broke away from the British. Fast forward to now, you have Mashed Potato Brains Joe and Fetterman speaking in very bizarre tongues. I love when also you get these like historians. You get these historians. They're like, I've never seen anything like Trump. Oh my God. Well, have you ever seen a Steele dossier? Never seen that either. So they always I love when they bring up our experiment in self-rule. Oh, Trump. Oh, Trump. Alan, thank you. Mad Cow Mark, thank you. Keith, hello. It was funny when he had hair. What's another good? Let's see. Stephen King. Let's see if we can get to Stephen King. What's he saying about midterms? I love these people who are successful, and because they're successful, then they absolutely have the authority to judge and condemn and pontificate. Musk makes me think of Tom Sawyer, who was given the job of whitewashing a fence. I remember learning about that or reading that. Tom cons his friend into doing the chores for him and getting them to pay the privilege. That's what Musk wants to do with Twitter. No. Well, not really. He wants you to pay up. Wants you to pay up because losing money. And the funny thing is Musk's like, we're losing advertisers. You have to pay. And then suddenly they're like, oh, what? I thought that you losing advertisers would control you. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm not being controlled at all. In fact, it's actually making it easier for me to fire people. How did that work out? Bette Midler. She's fantastic. I love Bette Midler. Okay, so here, Bette Midler. All these very wealthy liberal Democrats. The GOP has stopped pretending they can govern. What? They're not running the House or Senate. The only policies they've outlined are cutting Social Security. No, they haven't outlined those policies. Medicare and bringing out the worst creature to ever hold office. Oh, it was so bad. We had record low unemployment with real wages up 1.1%. A growing economy, no invasion in Europe. Oh, my God. I call him creature because some humans ain't human. Oh, I know. There's literally every day the most heinous atrocities taking place in Democratic-run cities. But those people are human, according to Bette Midler, apparently. But Trump is not human. He's an orange monster who had a great economy and a great foreign policy. Ah, monster. He's not human. They always make absurd leaps of logic. Ron! Thank you, Ron. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. The Meltdown tweets will be fantastic. I can tell you what, America deserves this. When you'll see that on Tuesday evening, if we fail as a country, when we defeated King George 246 years ago, oh, Washington's army would be so embarrassed of what we've become. Trump Republicans, that. Rom, thank you. Mad Cow, Mark, Allen, thank you. Henry Mann, thank you. They always make, Jonathan, hello. Thank you, Ron. They always make absurd leaps of logic. He's not human. Not human. Let's see. Allocated more funding, Trump did, to historically black colleges and universities, made the funding permanent. Not human. No. First president to step foot in North Korea. No, not human. Trump. Oh, yeah. We had a growing economy. We had real wages up 1.1%. Real wages are down 8.5%. But mashed potato brains Joe, a man who, like I said, with Fetterman, could hide any secret. Even if he tried to tell the secret, you wouldn't even understand what he was saying. These are humans. Oh, yeah. Trump, no. I watch the Crime Network, I watch, you can see every day you have 101-year-old women losing their lives to absolute fiendish evil maniacs. And Trump is not human. And Trump is the problem. Meanwhile, you have complete anarchy in parts of Democratic-run cities, and that's okay. Exactly, Robert. Ladies and gentlemen, what can I tell you? Thank you so much. Be here tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow, probably around 3 p.m. Pacific. Be here for the live stream at around 3 p.m. Pacific or so. Everybody have a beautiful, beautiful evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Congrats to the Astros. And thank you, everybody. Thank you. Gigi, thank you. Mad Cow Mark, everybody here. Alan, thank you. Henry Mann, thank you. Dr. Evil 814, everyone here. Dr. Evil 814, thank you so much as always. People have a great evening.